I don't get fired.
Yeah! What's going on, guys? I just realized that our theme song is ahead of the game, but we're here for Sports Move for another week. We got a lot going on in the NFL, NBA, March Madness, and WWE. So without further ado, it's your boy C. Moody here with
D. Moody.
That's right. We're not going to let this stop us right here. That's right. We're going to keep going. Two Moodys.
One duty.
Sports. So you might hear a pause, and you might hear this whole thing start all the way over. But I want you to know that we're going to be here. We're live right now. We're not stopping this train. We're not deleting and starting over. And that's why I'm talking this thing out so I can start it over real quick before we actually get into it. There's some major stuff going on, some major trades in the NFL, and some major moves in the NBA as we get ready for these playoffs. You know March Madness is coming right around the corner. And you know what? In WWE, we are on the road to WrestleMania, baby. So, let's talk about it. Woo!
First and foremost, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to apologize for C. I don't know where he was at just now, where he went, but he's back now, and we got him all calmed down. He's good, and we're getting ready to kick off another edition of Sports Moods. So thank you for indulging us. Well, him, because it wasn't me, but. Now he's calm and he's collected, and now he's going to introduce us as he normally does.
Let me apologize for the music being out of its original order, and by doing so, my improvisation instinct kicked in, and it led into quite a rant.
Kicked in.
It stomped
this way in.
So it kind of took over just to kind of keep the train going. But here we are at another week in Sports Moods. As always, it is C. Moody here with
D. Moody.
Two Moodys.
One duty.
Sports.
First and foremost, again, I want to apologize for last week. We didn't upload a podcast because D. Moody, myself, was a little bit under the weather fighting the flu. So unless you guys wanted me coming on here sounding like coughing all over everything, and just sounding horrible, we kind of took last week to allow me to get myself together. So I'm back feeling good. A lot of stuff has happened in sports since the last time.
For you feeling better.
Thank you. Since we've all have come together to talk sports, a lot of big things going on in the NFL, trades and people getting released and big deals getting signed. In the NCAA, we got March Madness. It's that time of year. All kicks off tomorrow. NBA, we're going to talk about some things going on around that. And then WWE, as C. Moody informed us moments ago, we are on the road to WrestleMania. So we need to find out how that road is going to get us to that Sunday in April, the grandest stage of them all, and who's going to be competing on that stage.
Yes, sir. But I think we're going to kick it off with the NFL. As you can see, if you haven't been living under a rock or not watching ESPN, you would know that there has been a lot of trades and signings going on as the NFL has kept this train rolling getting towards, I think, scout training time and the combine and stuff.
Combine is just wrapped up last week or the week before last, and
that is right.
Now we're getting into free agency.
There we go.
The most wonderful time of the year. You never know what's going to come across that ticker on ESPN or be that breaking news.
Right.
So it's always an eventful time of year to figure out who's going to end up where. And right now, as I'm just going to go ahead and segue into it, the biggest one of them all, as we all know, speculating after the Chiefs made the deal to trade Alex Smith to the Washington Redskins, that kind of left Kirk Cousins with an uncertain future.
Yeah. Until
now. He is now reportedly to sign a 3-year, $84 million deal with the Minnesota Vikings. All $84 million guaranteed. Straight cash, homie, like Randy Moss would say. $84 million guaranteed. They said that's the first time the NFL has seen someone get a guaranteed deal, pretty much get all the money guaranteed since 1986 with Dan Marino.
Wow.
So it really doesn't happen often that a person they'll get a certain amount guaranteed, and they'll have a chance to get incentives for other like things they may do throughout the season. But for me, he could be a flop or he could be the greatest thing Minnesota's ever seen, regardless of however it turns out, whatever the outcome is. They got to pay this man.
Oh, yeah.
So are you in agreement with it being guaranteed? Do you think he's worth that amount?
Well, this is the mentality, I guess, would be my perspective of reasoning. I feel like with Minnesota having such a good year last year, coming, really close.
Yeah, the NFC Championship.
That's what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. So I feel like they're looking to strike now. So I feel like, when they got him, there was like to show how confident we are that you and us are going to we're not going to start over. This isn't a rebuilding. This is like, let's get to where we are and try to progress this year right now. We're going to guarantee it to you. And in that note, I like it. Okay. Now, is Kirk Cousins the best quarterback? Definitely not. I like him for his heart, definitely. I like his grit. Now, his accuracy.
He's put up some good numbers.
He has, but I'm not impressed, from a long-term standpoint. I wouldn't. When I think of even good upcoming quarterbacks, Kirk Cousins is up there, but it's not like the first name.
The verdict is still out for him, for me.
Right.
And then it looked really good after RG3 got hurt a couple of years ago. And it's like, okay, maybe he's going to be the guy in Washington. And Washington never really was sold on him.
No.
Because every year they kept tagging him with the franchise tag.
And see, I think, and also for his stint, which could be why I don't feel as confident as him, the Washington Redskins didn't really have that great of an offensive front. Especially starting at the line to kind of let him be as effective as he might potentially be. So this coming to the Minnesota Vikings, unless they have some changes in the line or anything, should have the same stern kind of offensive front that they did, minus their quarterback. And that either is going to be put up or shut up time for Kirk Cousins, because it's like you have the utilities that you need. What are you going to do?
You got a good defense on the other side, and you got Stephon Diggs, so that's going to be a primary target. I could see them building that chemistry together. But I knew he was going to land a big deal somewhere, but Minnesota was not the place I thought he would. I thought it would be Denver, because Denver wanted him. And then speaking of Denver, the quarterback that was with Minnesota, who I thought would stay in Minnesota, he had an awesome season, after Sam Bradford went down. Case Keenum kind of rode Minnesota through. They had a long win streak at one point, I think of 8 games or so, and they finished second in the NFC, got him to the NFC Championship game, and now he is moving on to the Denver Broncos.
I actually find it really shocking that, because like I said, considering how far and how good that team went from, like you said, first and second quarterback, carrying this team, that they decided to just kind of clean that house with the quarterback.
Yeah, because right now you got, since we're here with Minnesota, you got Sam Bradford to the Cardinals.
Yep.
And then you got now I think I'll get back on Bradford in a minute, but then you got Teddy Bridgewater expected to sign with the New York Jets. Mm-hmm. So pretty much, like you said, they are clearing house with the quarterback. Right. So now with Sam Bradford, now think about him. I know that's your boy because he started out with the Rams and everything. I've yet to see him play a full season. When is he not hurt? But this guy has gotten. They had like a graphic on TV this morning as I was getting ready for work as they were discussing how much money he's made over the years since being in the league. Like every year, what his contract was, and how much he grossed a year, and he hasn't even played a full season. So it's kind of like, they were making the joke that he's a better golfer than he is a football player because he's never available. And the thing, as a quarterback, you have to be available to Now, I'm not saying he's not a bad quarterback. I mean, but we've never really seen the full reality of what he could be because he's always been hurt.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And hopefully, he actually can have that time to show who he is, because I actually believe that.
I mean, he's getting older now, so at this point, he's starting to hit that decline.
He hasn't been in the league that long.
But still, he's been in there long enough to have shown something by now. All thing he's shown me is that, hey, I can get hurt.
Exactly.
Let me see this year. I'm gonna get hurt this way.
See what muscle I can pull this time.
But I'm not joking at the fact that someone gets hurt. I mean, I know it's out of your control sometimes, but it's just been a consistent thing. That's all I'm saying with that.
No, I got you.
Now back to Keenum. Now, how do you feel he's gonna fit in with Denver? He's got some good receivers out there. Demarius.
Yeah.
I think, is Emmanuel Sanders still there? He still should be. I hadn't heard any trade talks of them moving him. But if he's still there, he's still got a good running back situation.
Well, I think,
and the defense. So
I don't know, but I feel like the Vikings core, like the line, is a little bit more well developed than the Broncos. So I feel like that's going to be their downfall. Like you said, they do have some good key players, but if you can't hold that line for them, it's not going to make much difference in the long run. So as of right now, I feel like the Vikings might have had a better deal. Well, considering that they did trade in response for that, I don't know if it was the same trade or not, that they got Trevor Siemian to the Vikings as a backup.
Okay.
I don't know how well Trevor Siemian, but he's, for the most I've seen him, as his backup, except for that little stint with the Broncos. But
it's
as
too
far
inconsistent for me.
Yeah. So, but for the long haul, it's like who's starting quarterback, who has the better one between the two. I would still say the Vikings.
Okay.
Yeah. Between the three, technically, from the Redskins, Broncos, and Vikings. Yeah.
Now, staying with quarterbacks, with the New Orleans Saints, Drew Brees decides to stay in New Orleans, and rightfully so. I think he should finish his career there.
Oh, definitely.
And I still think they're contenders. Signs a 2-year, $50 million deal. I think only it's not a guaranteed. All of it's not guaranteed. It's only, I think, $31 million of it's guaranteed or something like
still
that.
Still $31 million.
Yeah, still $31 million to be 39 years old. You're doing good. But I know they had some years ago. He was saying he wanted to play until he was 45 or whatever. So I don't realistically see that. But this season, he's only like 2,000 or so yards away from breaking Peyton Manning's all-time passing yards record.
Well, then he's getting it this year. I believe it.
Yeah, he'd throw 4,000 yards with ease easily.
Exactly.
That's what he does. He's had a season where he's went over 5,000. So I think and he's only like, the thing that impresses me most is he's a short quarterback, and he's able to accomplish
with a super strong arm.
Yeah, with a super strong arm, and he just is a great leader of his team. It's good to see that him and the Saints could come up with a deal there. What's another thing you got over there that made some news in the NFL this week?
It hasn't. It doesn't look like it's been finalized, but a source confirmed to ESPN is that Danny Amendola intends to leave the Patriots to sign with the Dolphins.
Yep, I hear that it's a 2-year deal. Danny Playoff Amendola. You make sure you get his name right, okay?
Oh, excuse me.
Yeah, I'm going to miss Danny, but I understand that, it's a business and you got to You got to make those difficult decisions. Danny is just amazing. We're gonna definitely miss him and what he can do.
All right, Belichick. That was actually pretty good. Once you got the mumbling, I was like, he's trying to be Belichick. That's bad that I only knew it right there.
So, I do hate to see him go. I saw Julian Edelman and Tom Brady throw some stuff out there on social media, for Danny to go to Tennessee. Also, not Tennessee, Miami. Speaking of, since we're here with the Pats,
okay.
Deion Lewis and both Malcolm Butler to the Titans.
Oh, wow. I figured Malcolm Butler was kind of out of there. Depending on, like they said, I don't think they've ever clarified what happened to make him be sidelined
with the Super Bowl. Yeah.
Exactly. So, but I felt like that was solidifying that he wouldn't be there anymore.
And then, given the fact now that the Titans has released DeMarco Murray, that's probably going to move up Derrick Henry from Alabama as the number one back, and then you got Deion Lewis as that change of pace running back who can also catch out of the backfield as well.
The Titans are really just a few positions and fill-ups from being a real good team. Mm-hmm. Like they already have become like a good team right now. Just that they don't have all the pieces. Mariota hasn't found his flow to be as consistent as he can be. I think he hasn't really. I think his mind hasn't matured enough. He still wants to run where he should throw it out. Certain situations like that, he tries to throw it into a bad spot where he should just kind of let it go or take a little dive or something. So once he grows up a little bit mentally and they find their key pieces that they need for these little soft spots that they have, especially they need to start working on the O-line a little bit too for me. Mm-hmm. They can really be a good team. They can really, really good, escalating very fast. So,
and they made the playoffs last year with the team that they had. And a lot of people said that was one of the worst teams to make the playoffs. But hey, they beat the Chiefs, and they got a playoff win. So, they hopefully look to try to build off of that. But then they let their coach go after they won. So, It's a lot of changes going on in Tennessee right now. I think Mike Vrabel, former New England Patriot, won 3 Super Bowls with us, is now the new head coach down there in Tennessee. So, I'm anxious to see how he's going to do in his first year as a head coach.
Yeah.
Any other smashing news around the NFL that you have? I'm trying to give you some time to throw your stuff in there. I don't want to name all the stuff.
I think you have this one, so I think I'm gonna give that one to you.
Okay.
But I'm gonna go back to my boys.
Okay.
My LA Rams. I think, like you said, last time we talked, we saw that Marcus Peters has joined them, and I don't know if you said it I'm sure you said it last week, and I just didn't remember. Aqib Talib is also with them. Where we're also getting a cornerback of Sam Shields.
Yep. You guys are revving up that defense. That's already good. You had the defensive player of the year on the team already, and then last year, you had the offensive player with Ty Gurley and the head coach of the year. So, LA is drawing that talent, and it's LA. Who wouldn't want to go play in Los Angeles?
Exactly.
So now, if you guys are still St. Louis, it would probably be like,
right.
St. Louis is still a good American city, but it's just like LA has that appeal to it.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
It's Hollywood.
Yeah, so I'm gonna be out there in Southern California. It's nice, weather's nice. Can do a lot of celebrities. It's get to play football, get to play for a good team. So it's an attractive space at this moment.
Yeah.
So you guys it's looking like and given the fact all the changes in that division.
Yeah.
As we go ahead and segue into Mr. Richard Sherman.
There you go.
Is no longer a part of the Seattle Seahawks. I never thought I'd see the day.
Right.
But again, football is a business sometimes, and you have to you have to cut ties sometimes. And he wasn't a free agent very long. Less than 24 hours later after that, he signed with the division rival, the San Francisco 49ers. And General Manager John Lynch came out and said, we had something no other team could offer Richard Sherman. Do you know what that is?
No.
Quiz time.
I have no idea. What does San Francisco have? What, being closer to home? No, because that's Oakland. He came from Oakland, didn't he? Something that he had that no one else could offer him.
All right, time.
What is being closer to home?
The correct answer would be that he gets to play the Seattle Seahawks twice a year. He gets to play his.
Well, there you go.
He gets to play the same team, and then Richard Sherman came out to say he's his own agent, so he pretty much did everything for his deal.
That's what's up, though.
So he was like, "I'm vengeful like that." So he wants to kind of.
I love the mental capacity of Richard Sherman. Like, he is a very, like, to me, he's a pretty wise person just in all outside aspects. Like, you know, of course he plays football. He's an aggressive football player. He's a good athlete.
Passion, everything. Yeah.
But he's like, when you can sit him down, he's a real deep thinker. Like you said,
went to Stanford. You got to be smart to go to Stanford.
That's true.
I mean, so he is now with the 49ers. So I thought that was very. And the thing is, the Seattle is just kind of. I think y'all the team to beat in that division now, as far as the Rams are concerned.
I don't know, man.
And Seattle, I mean, you still got Russ, but then you look at the fact now that, just segueing into this, Seattle doesn't. I mean, I didn't think Jimmy Graham was a big part of what they did. He had 10 touchdowns last year, but
he was a tight end.
But I mean, he's going to Green Bay now.
Yeah. So
now you lose a weapon for Russell Wilson there. Then on the the defensive side, you already lost Bennett to the Eagles. You lose Richard Sherman. Pretty much a lot of the core players that was a part of that championship team for Seattle when they won the Super Bowl and they went to those 2 back-to-back Super Bowls. It's gone now. It's like a rebuilding stage for them right now. So things are really changing in the NFC West division. You got any other big deals out there that you want to?
That's the major one for me.
Just some other NFL news. Also, Dolphins releasing Ndamukong Suh.
Oh yeah.
In the 3 years that he was with the Dolphins, they went 22-26. They made him one of the highest paid defensive players when he came into the deal.
Right.
But now cutting him, that high salary that he had, is going to save the Dolphins $17 million in cap space. Wow. So yeah, brother, go ahead and hit the road for me.
Yeah.
Now, do know that the Packers are set to release Jordy Nelson at the wide receiver position. So that is, and I heard some people saying the Patriots may try to shop him to try to draw him to come to Foxborough. But Jordy Nelson, that's pretty. Him and Aaron Rodgers are pretty close. And that's it's a football can be tough, man.
Yeah, it is. That business, man.
It's that business act. We forget about that sometimes when it comes to these people sitting behind those desks and having those deliberations. And
because for us, we just like to see these two teams be rivals forever. These teams stick with their teams forever. Let it be to the end of their careers, fight back and forth. But like you said, the people in the back see it as we're trying to make moves. We're trying to get the money, fix our money right for other people. And if that means we have to cut ties with certain people to open space or to get somebody that we think might be better, it doesn't matter what kind of personal thing we've invested. Not even for the players. Like you said, it's ultimately going to be a business.
Yep. And you got the Cardinals releasing Adrian Peterson, which is not a surprise to me. It's not. I thought he had some good. He still showed some spurts of. He still got a little bit left in the tank, but I just feel like he's still not the same AP that he was. No. I mean, I still think a team will pick him up just for the veteran leadership aspect of it, but we don't expect him to be a 2,000-yard running back again, and but he still got a lot to offer. A big thing for me with the Cleveland Browns, like they've been really stepping up. We already know they set up pretty well for the draft, but they pulled Jarvis Landry from the Miami Dolphins. Oh. And then Tyrod Taylor, quarterback from Buffalo.
Yeah.
So Cleveland.
That'd be a nice.
Making some splashes, man. Making some moves. What do you think about the Cleveland Browns? You think they're going to be the laughing stock in the NFL?
They're going to be a really good 6-10 team.
I think they're going to. But 6-10 is an improvement when you don't win anything at all. The last 2 years they went 1-31.
That's what I'm saying. I see 6-10. I give them 6-10.
See, that's what I told them at work. I was like, no, I could see them being 5-11,
right?
4-12 at worst, 6-10 at best.
Yeah.
They're getting better, man. They're doing it.
Yeah,
it looks good on paper now, but we still got it. And you still forget about the division that they're in.
Yeah.
Got to play the Steelers twice. Got to play the Ravens twice. Cincinnati is kind of
Have they got rid of your boy at Cincinnati?
He still kept. They gave him a contract extension.
Are you serious?
Yes, Marvin Lewis. I don't understand how.
I'm so sorry.
He is still a head coach of that team. I don't. I believe that he's got something on the team ownership.
He's blackmailing.
He's blackmailing somebody to keep that job. He knows something that somebody doesn't. But yeah, and like I said, so. There's been a lot of different little moves going on, and I'm pretty sure there are more to come. But those are just a few of them that we kind of wanted to get into with this. And some of the big ones was the Kirk Cousins for me, the Richard Sherman, the Keenum. Also, I forgot to mention Sammy Watkins to the Chiefs.
Oh, yeah.
That one is another one that we forgot to mention. So not really a surprise that he did okay with San Francisco. I know he did not San Francisco.
Get it right, sir.
Los Angeles Rams. Right. But it was never a promising thing because y'all didn't never really have a go-to receiver.
No, we didn't.
I thought Robert Woods was probably your most consistent receiver that you had. And then the Cooper Kupp, or what's his name? The young receiver Cup, something like that, Cooper Kupp or something like that. He's pretty deep. You don't even know your
because that don't sound like the right name.
That's his name. Look it up. You can look it up. It's Cooper Kupp.
Cooper Kupp.
Yeah, he's actually a really good. He's probably one of your more consistent receivers that you guys had. But now Sammy really didn't fit into the fray as much as I thought he would.
Oh yeah, you're right. It is Cooper Kupp.
Yeah, I know he's right. You don't have to tell me. I know.
Whatever.
So Sammy is off to Kansas City. As we know, Patrick Mahomes is going to be the guy there since Alex Smith is with Washington.
You think they're going to keep Mahomes at the starting?
Yeah, that's why they drafted him to be the future of that team. And it was just Alex Smith. He was performing above the expectations of what they thought he would, and it was just like
we can't just sit him down.
Just sit him down, but then they kind of hit that.
Yeah, unless he.
What's really the Alex Smith demise everywhere he go, like with Kansas City, is that he's lost some tough playoff games. The way he lost to Tennessee this year, and a couple of years ago when they lost to the Andrew Luck and the Colts, and when they came back. And
is Andrew Luck going to be back next year? I mean, I don't see anything promising out the Colts, but I just want to see Andrew Luck back because I like him as a quarterback.
I don't know. I don't think he plays football anymore, to be honest with you.
Oh, snap. That was disrespectful.
I mean,
he
probably sees a football.
Speaking of good...
and jumps.
He's funny.
At the thought of it.
Oh, my God, they're going to hit me. Quarterbacks. Matthew Stafford this year.
I will not allow you to make a Matthew Stafford reference on this podcast. I went ahead and
did that bad move for you. Because the way D. Moody just looked at me. I'm just speaking from his heart. That came from his eyes just now. Hilarious. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Don't do that. But this is pretty much all we had for the NFL. I mean, I do want to ask a quick question.
Go ahead.
Now, they did come out that Tom Brady's wife, Giselle Bundchen, was criticized after the Patriots lost the Super Bowl.
Oh, for saying they had to give him one?
Yeah, like telling her kids, like consoling her kids as if, well, Daddy's won 5 of them. Sometimes you have to let the other team win or something like that. And a lot of people didn't take light of that. The parenting skills of...
I'm going to tell you a secret. Let me get up close. I'm going to tell you a secret.
Hey, I wish I could see how close he is to this microphone.
Giselle knows the script. She's been exposing for like the last longest, like how that situation with Tom Brady with the concussion thing, and she was like, she got up there, and of course she was like, he's had so many concussions, like she doesn't feel comfortable with it. But then they had to make her go back and apologize for like, oh, she's just talking, she's just being an emotional winch, like. So, and now she's telling her kids like, well, they have to let them get that win, hint, hint. And so now they're like,
they've never won one before, so. That's not what you want to teach your kid. I'm not all about the people like you get a trophy for participation. I'm not a big person on that. Either you won or you lost. We lost. You never give anybody anything, and that's not what you should teach your children about. There are going to be times in life they need to understand that you're not always going to win.
Yeah, unless you're in the NFL or WWE,
you're not always going to win. And
guys. Sports isn't real anymore. Sports is just scripted entertainment.
Then why are we here?
I don't know, because they put WWE on the same channel as ESPN, what's supposed to be real. That's why. But you don't see dodgeball on ESPN, do you?
I just thought that was
They have professional dodgeball.
I thought that was a intriguing segment to hit at, like she telling them that, like pretty much, hey, we have to let people win sometimes.
Giselle, this is for you, sweetie. You tell that girl. You speak that truth.
So basically, you're saying the Patriots let the
yeah. I told you that this is the year, either this year or next year, that Tom Brady and Bill is going to be like how you use Bill voice from Tom Brady. You want to go ahead and go ahead and go out in the sunset together, and then they're going to win this Super Bowl. Whichever the next Super Bowl they win is going to be their last collectively. So they was like, I'm not ready to give it up this year. Are you ready? They can get this one. And it's like, because this last one's going to be our finale. We're gonna destroy whoever is going to be at the Super Bowl last year, and it's just going to be our beautiful sunset finish. And then we can leave as the greatest two people ever. Argumentatively,
they're already that now.
Argumentatively, I don't even know if that's a word. Yeah, arguably. That's the word I was looking for.
I don't know what.
Argumentatively, I like making up words. Shut up. Arguably, the two greatest people, the players in their player and coach combination. I mean, player and coach combination, sure. You know how I feel about Tom Brady as himself being the greatest right now. But that's an argument now thing.
Because I feel like he's dropped his legacy's dropped a little bit because of the last Super Bowl loss.
Because he's being a good sport. He's giving other people wins, Super Bowl wins and stuff. So.
Anyway, we're going to go ahead and move away off this issue with the NFL. We've seen so many big deals and stuff. Like I said, I'm sure there's more to come. And we still have the draft. So a lot to still go until we get to that.
When is the draft? Do you know?
I think it's always in April sometime. I'm not sure the exact date.
I never know the date. It always catches me off guard.
I just like to watch the first pick. Doom, 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 doom. Look at that little song. And with the first pick, the NFL draft, the Kansas City Chiefs select or whoever.
Yeah, I was about to say, I don't know who's going to be the first round.
And they just say the name, and then the people, boo! Like, you don't even, this person even took the field for you.
I hate this man. That's the wrong choice.
And then they come out and be probably the greatest.
All right. Christmas Porzingis.
Yep.
New York hated that man. But, yeah. But
we're going to go ahead and close out this NFL. When we come back, we're going to talk about some NCAA March Madness. And then we're going to get into some NBA action, what's going on around the association. And then we're going to end it all off with the WWE Monday Night Raw SmackDown Live. See what's going on that road to WrestleMania. This is Sports Moods. 2 Moodys.
1 Duty.
Sports. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Sports Moods, ladies and gentlemen. This is D Moody here with
C Moody.
two Moodys.
One duty.
Sports. So if you're just joining us, we just covered the NFL, just kind of reviewing over some of the big trades and signings and releases that's going on around the National Football League. Now we're going to dive into March Madness. It is that time of year. The college basketball regular season has come to an end, as well as the conference championships. And now we're getting to the point where we call it the big dance, and if you made it or not. So right now, the number one seeds, Virginia, the number one overall seed, went 31-2. The ACC regular season and ACC tournament champions. Number one overall seed. Number one seed in the, which region are they? In the South region. Where they, in that region, we're looking at, they're the number one seed. The 2 seed over there is going to be Cincinnati, who had a really, really good season this year. Probably one of the more underrated teams around the country. Number 3 seed over there is Rick Barnes and the Tennessee Volunteers, who were the SEC runner-ups for the SEC tournament title. They had a share of the regular season title with Auburn. Then over there, number 4, you got Texas Tech, and then Kentucky at 5. Butler's over there. So this is kind of a tough, kind of a stacked division, not division, but region for Virginia. I think Virginia has, just looking at their road there, they have one of the tougher roads, which I think is expected when you go 31-2. You should be in a tough region. You should be challenged to get there. You shouldn't have an easy road to get there. I think they play tough enough anyway because they play in the ACC. So when you have to play the likes of North Carolina, Duke, teams like that in the ACC, that stacked ACC schedule. So I think they could potentially meet up with Kentucky or Texas Tech, throughout the tournament to get through. And then if, depending on what Cincinnati does at the bottom, if they can make it through, and then you got the possibility of one of the best players in the country, Trae Young, if they win their qualifying game to get in versus St. Bonaventure, depending on if Oklahoma, who a lot of people had an issue with getting into the tournament, saying that they were on a slide coming in, and then that they felt that Oklahoma State should have went because they beat Oklahoma twice in the Big 12. So, but Oklahoma still made it in as an 11 seed. But I'm just looking at Virginia's division. This is probably one of the tougher regions for them to come out of. Now, the number one seed in the West Division is the Xavier Musketeers. They did win the regular season Big East Championship. They did lose to Providence in the Big East tournament, but they finished the regular season at 28-5 for Xavier, number one seed. Just kind of looking down their bracket, they have Purdue down at the bottom at number 2, who they could possibly meet in a regional final. Creighton and Florida State, sleepers out there. Auburn as well, the SEC regular season champion there as a 3 seed. And then Arizona, given the fact all they've been through this year with the speculation of the paying the player, the recruit to come there. But they have probably one of the more talented rosters in the country as well. And then Clemson up there from the home area for us at the 5 seed representing the ACC. So this is a pretty tough bracket too. And I think it's kind of hard to determine for me who's going to come out of there. I think potentially Purdue should come out of this bracket, just given the fact of how consistent they have been all season. But there's some possibilities at some upsets, in this bracket too.
Right.
But I think the sleeper in this bracket is going to be Arizona. I think out of all the number one seeds, in my opinion, Xavier is the weaker of all the number one seeds.
I was thinking something like that.
Yeah.
But I mean, you
never know
with the weaker ones.
These diaper dandies and these Cinderellas.
Exactly.
and PTPers, primetime
PTPers.
players or performers. So you never know what can happen. I'm just ready for the buzzer beaters, man. I'm just ready for the little no-name school to knock off a big school, just shaking everything up. So
no, because it messes up my brackets. I want to win the money.
I had to throw my brackets away real early last year.
Me too.
I was just like, oh, you know what?
I had like one that was almost there, but no.
Yeah, I feel like as long as I can pick the eventual champion, I'm good.
Right.
Because I picked North Carolina last year. I picked North Carolina the year before that, and they won.
I don't think I picked them.
Yeah, I always go with my boys, UNC. I always have to have a bracket where they win.
They would give you like 25 different chances. So I just like maybe I make like 10 scenarios with one team I really think is going to win. Then the rest I just be like, okay, if this upset happened, this upset happened, this upset happened. So I might have had North Carolina in one of them, I'm sure. So.
Mm-hmm. But I don't think Xavier's coming out of this regional.
Don't think so.
And it's very rare that all the number one seeds make it to a Final Four. The last time I remember that happened was back in 2008, where every number one seed made it to the Final Four. But I give Xavier potentially maybe Elite Eight, possibly. And they may have to, get ousted out then, maybe before then in the Sweet 16. But I think Purdue is going to come out of this regional. Now, looking at the East, a lot of people feel that Villanova, 30-4 on the season, just 2 years, they've won the Big East tournament 3 out of the last 4 years for Coach Jay Wright. Remember, they won the 2016 national championship versus my North Carolina Tar Heels on a buzzer beater.
Yeah.
Still have nightmares about that every once in a while.
I'm sorry.
But, we won it last year, so, we were able to redeem ourselves.
It's true.
But Villanova's the one seed over there. A lot of people feel they have the easier path to the Final Four. Just kind of browsing through. My Tar Heels are over there. Isn't that ironic, right?
Right.
These two teams met in 2016. Let's see if we give them another shot at it again. This time for the right to go to the Final Four. North Carolina's the 2 seed over there against number 15 Lipscomb. You got Michigan is a threat. I'm afraid of Michigan.
You're afraid
Michigan is a much different team than what they were when they began the season. Florida's over there too. They're always a sleeper as well. West Virginia. This is a stack. This is a stat. Even though they say not Louisville, but Villanova has the easiest road. I'm just looking at this now. This is a stack region. North Carolina, Michigan, Florida, West Virginia, Ohio State, even Alabama's dangerous. Virginia Tech was the only few teams this year to beat Virginia. Virginia only had 2 losses.
You think that's going to matter in the big game?
I don't know, man. I mean,
people do play different. Like you said, those upsets.
And sometimes with the tournament, it's the streak. Whoever's the hottest at that moment, the streak.
Yeah.
Like, you just got to keep streaking. And because to win the entire tournament, you have to win 6 games. So you just have to go on a 6-game win streak, beat everybody they put in front of you, and you're the national champion. It's easier said than done, though.
Very.
But I'm just looking at it. I'm hoping the Tar Heels come out of this. I think they have a good chance. They're a veteran team full of juniors and seniors, so they've been to the national championship game back-to-back years. This will be the 3rd year if they were to get back to the Final Four in a row. So I think they have the opportunity, but I think Michigan and Florida definitely sleepers in this region. And the last and final region is Midwest region. Kansas Jayhawks finished the regular season 27-7. Won the Big 12 regular season and Big 12 tournament titles this year for Coach Bill Self. Number 1 seed versus number 16 Cal State Fullerton is just browsing through this bracket. The Duke Blue Devils are Coach K kind of sitting down there on the bottom at that 2 seed. Could potentially meet up with Kansas for the right to go to the Final Four.
That Duke team, even though we have, of course, the very controversial Grayson Allen.
Oh, yeah.
Still a good player.
Tell me about it. What he did in the North Carolina game last week.
I'm surprised he's just not been suspended indefinitely for. Like, some people be like, I forgot, somebody was arguing about his situation the other week, and I was like, he blatantly knocked the man down, like, stuck his whole butt out there.
Yeah, so he couldn't run past, like, and then he was looking like, what did I do?
Yeah.
Like, really?
Like, that's a street ball move. Even though, like I said, to both of our defense, as far as I know, both of us haven't played any kind of high school or whatever league sport, basketball, maybe recreational.
I play street ball.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Besides that, we play street
ball.
ball, so it's like I see it there. I wouldn't have thought to see it in a professional setting. So, that's just, I guess.
Yeah, he can be questionable at times, his motives when he's on the court. So Duke is out there at the 2 seed. Duke got ousted out early last year by our South Carolina Gamecocks. So we did go on to the Final Four, so it wasn't a fluke win. But we're looking at Michigan State over there too. Now, Michigan State's a 3 seed. I honestly think maybe they should have been on the 2 line, but that's just me. But they could potentially have a meetup with Duke to try to get to the regional final. And then you got Wichita State over there, who's always dangerous, and then Gonzaga's in this division, in this region too. And Gonzaga went to the national championship game last year. Yeah. North Carolina had a tough one to try to beat them for the championship. So Gonzaga's sitting over there. So Kansas, this is a tough bracket for them too. It's a lot of potential threats in this region that I'm looking at right now. And this is really like my first time really reviewing all the brackets. I kind of want to save it. Like, I saw some of the selection shows, but I didn't really get invested in it because I wanted to try to look at it as I was doing it on the podcast just to kind of see. And just looking at this, Kansas is going to have a hard road to get there.
Yep.
And they're a good team. I'm very fond of Kansas because Coach Roy Williams used to be there. And so I'm just anxious to see how they will maneuver through this. Because you got Coach K, Tom Izzo, Mark Few, three really great head coaches, and they have been at those colleges for a couple of decades. So we just have to see what Kansas does. Now, with me, they always ask this question: which number 1 seed has the hardest road? Which one has the easiest road? For me, a lot of people saying Virginia has a hard road. They do. But I think now, looking at it, Kansas does.
I think Kansas.
Mm-hmm. I just doing the eye test on this, I think Kansas has the hardest road. Easiest road, I would give it to, I can't say Villanova because North Carolina's over there. Well, you just ain't gonna just get through my boys like that.
That's true.
I'd say easiest road. There is no easy road, but I think the hardest road.
The easiest road is for, I don't know, UVA.
You think so? UVA they got a pretty little tough looking.
They do. I'm looking at Kentucky.
I would say out of all of them, I think it is kind of easier for them, just the style of play that they have.
Exactly.
Like their defensive team, they don't give up a lot of points. You're not going to score 70 points on them.
And who would you say your hardest road would go to?
Kansas. You got Duke, Michigan State, Gonzaga. TCU's not a knockoff team. Wichita's over there. That's a tough bracket.
I probably would have said Xavier.
We got a tough road?
Just because out of the 4, like you say, like Xavier is the weakest of the 4 number 1s.
I think they're the weakest, yeah. I think they'll lose before any of the other number 1s.
So with that being said, I feel like
a lot of times I don't think they'll lose because of it's tough. It's just the fact of.
Oh, you think they're just gonna lose because they're the weaker team?
Yeah, they're weak. Yeah, I just feel like.
Yeah, I mean, really, their biggest threat would be, of course, UNC, Michigan, Gonzaga. I'm not as confident as in Ohio State.
Yeah.
I feel like, for some reason, Houston might be a sleeper in there. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, still, that's, yeah.
It could be. But, I mean, I think if any of these number one seeds get to the Final Four, it would have to be
Virginia.
It would have to be Virginia. Until I see them lose. Like, I watched them play my Tar Heels last week, and we get in the best game we possibly could give them, and we still lost. It was just like every game, they're so scrappy on the defensive side of the ball. They just contest every shot. They die for every loose ball.
Right.
They don't give up points. Their pick and roll offense is amazing, and it's just, I think they are the front runners to win it. But here are some of the things that people say is likely to win. Virginia or Villanova have your strongest odds to win it. Then you got potentially Michigan. A lot of people going with Michigan because Michigan finished the season out so strong. Michigan, Duke, UNC, Arizona, Michigan State, Purdue, and Cincinnati are your top 10 who people think are most likely to win the national championship.
Clemson.
No. It ain't Dabo Swinney and the Clemson Tigers. We talking about Clemson in basketball, not football.
They're number 5 right now.
In the bracket, not in the
bracket.
nation. They're a good team. Now, I will give it to Clemson. This is probably one of their better, most successful seasons they've had in a while in college basketball. Yeah. So I do want to give them, being from South Carolina, from the area, it's good to see them back in the tournament. Like, amazing. But I don't see them winning the national championship.
I agree with you.
So that's pretty much what's going on with March Madness right now. We just kind of went through some of the brackets, just browsing through at what we think could potentially be some traps for some teams. You're going to see some Cinderella upsets. There's going to be some buzzer beaters. There's going to be some teams like, and you look at it like, what are you doing here? How are you here? Like last year, South Carolina Gamecocks shocked a lot of teams. If you went into the tournament and told me the Gamecocks was going to be in the Final Four in men's basketball,
right?
I didn't think that would happen. But you never know. That's why you get in the dance and you see what you can do.
That's why you play the game.
You play to win the game.
You sound just like this, man.
What you got for the NBA?
So in the NBA action we have tonight, we have a couple games going. There was a good one going on that I was looking at right now. Nearing the end of it with 3 minutes left in the fourth quarter, we have the Boston Celtics 3 points ahead of the Washington Wizards, 98-95. The key players right now for the Wizards, of course, is Bradley Beal, while they're still waiting for John Wall to come back with 24 points and 9 assists. On the other side of the ball, the top scorer is the other twin. I just realized it's a twin battle right now. Markieff versus Marcus Morris. So Marcus, I think Markieff is on the Wizards. Sure. Or am I wrong? Let me make sure, because I feel like last time I checked, Markieff is on the Wizards.
Okay. And
so that would make, of course, the other twin, Marcus, on the Celtics. And he's the top scorer on the Celtics with 24 points and 5 rebounds. And now, it just updated while I tried to refresh and look for the names with just under 2 minutes left. It's 100-97. Still Celtics.
Okay.
So, other games going on tonight in the NBA. Besides that game is the Magic versus the Bucks. Is already over with. The Magic beat them 126-117. Just starting right now is the Miami Heat taking on the Kings with just under 2 minutes to start. The Kings are already up to zip. Let me make sure it hasn't refreshed more than that. 4-2. They're up 4-2 with 3 minutes into the first quarter. And later on tonight, we have the LA Lakers, Isaiah Thomas and Lonzo Ball. I had to make sure I didn't say LeVar again. Taking on the Curry-less and now Thompson-less Warriors.
There's some injuries going on out there.
Say, I'll let that segue into saying that Klay Thompson is out with a fractured thumb that he
suffered. It's like you said tongue. Okay.
You messed up my groove, man. Fractured his thumb playing Sunday in their loss to the Minnesota Timberwolves. But he did play through it that game. So he will be out. He's set to be reevaluated on March the 22nd that they announced today. And he did fracture his right thumb. So that leaves their backcourt empty, at least from their starters' perspective. And with them trying to race for number one, it looks pretty much like they're going to stay at the number 2 spot, ending the regular season.
Yeah, I think Houston will probably win out that one seed.
Definitely.
I know Curry's expected to miss another week with the ankle, so looks like some of the big stars for the Warriors going down at probably the most inopportune time of the season.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
And this game between the Lakers and Warriors will be Isaiah Thomas's first start with the Lakers.
His first start? Oh, he's starting. He's coming off the bench.
Yeah, he was. When he got there, he was coming off the bench.
Okay.
This will make his first start with the Lakers tonight because Kyle Kuzma is unable to play due to a sprained right ankle.
Okay.
So
these ankles, man.
I'm telling you, man. I mean, I guess you trying to break so many other ankles. The ankles you might break may be your own. So
could be.
Right. As far as the conference standing goes, on the East side, Toronto and Boston have clinched their playoff berth. Toronto at number 1 at 50-17. I did not think I would say that this year about the Toronto Raptors.
I'm not shocked. I just didn't think they'd be the number 1 seed.
No, that's shocking.
I thought they would be 2 or 3 at least.
I'm used to them being 3 or 4. So I'm personally shocked.
Just need to see it in the playoff. That's the only thing with me. I'm going to remain consistent with saying that about them.
Exactly. That's where it's going to matter. Number 2 is Boston Celtics, 4 games behind at 46-21. Number 3 is
Cleveland. Oh, huh?
Number 3 is not the Cleveland. No, sir.
No, huh? Wait a minute.
It is the Indiana Pacers.
The who?
Exactly.
Who?
Just the. I don't even know what I want to. I'm just like, what is? Yeah, there we go. I had to go through the whole thing because I am perplexed. And like I said, I wouldn't have expected to say this about the Toronto Raptors. I wouldn't have thought I would be saying that Indiana Pacers are number 3 in the East right now. And they're actually on a current 3-0 winning streak, beating in this last, I want to say 5 days, beating the Hawks on the 9th, beating the Celtics by 2 on the 11th, and then just recently beating the 76ers, which is a very good team as of late, by 3. So, good. I mean, more props to them. I didn't see it coming. So.
Yeah, that's a shock.
And I think another part of it would be due to the stunt that Cleveland once again fell into after acquiring the new fresh guys. Yeah. Now under 500 or below
since they've joined. Yeah,
exactly.
They don't have a winning record since they've, and they're still struggling with some of the same issues, and it's on the defensive side of the ball.
Of course. So now they're dropped to number 4. Their record is 39-28. Number 5, the Washington Wizards are at 38-30. Number 6, Philadelphia 76ers, 36-30. Number 7, Miami Heat dropped down a couple. I just noticed that, 36-32. And number 8 is the Milwaukee Bucks, trying to stay in, tied with Miami, as a matter of fact, at 36-32. On the western side, we have the Houston Rockets. There we go. Houston Rockets at number 1, 53-14, with their MVP in the making, James Harden.
I like how you say that.
In the making, man. That's pretty much it. This, like how they made it
the
unanimous
crossover
with.
Won it. That was just the cherry on top.
Right.
That was just solidified.
Yeah, I was about to say, honestly, I mean, like you said, he's been prepped to look like the MVP, and that just was like.
You got the 60-point game, all the triple doubles, and just
Still been the league leader in points the majority of the season.
He's missed some games this year and still.
Right. So they're at number 1. Number 2 is Golden State, looking like they will stay there at 51-16. Only 2 games behind still, though. Number 3, Portland Trailblazers, 12 games behind at 41-26.
They've gone on a little win streak to climb up.
Exactly. They've jumped up there. And I was about to say, I love them. I love the Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum backcourt. But once again, this is another team like the Raptors. How is this going to play off in the playoffs? How is this going to play off in the playoffs?
I like that. How is this going to play? I like your play on words.
There we go. See what they do.
I just feel like Lillard, he's going to have to put this team on his back if they're going to.
As always.
Good thing they got that.
But he needs help,
home court advantage. But
he needs help.
He does.
He needs help.
It is Portland.
Yeah, it is Portland. I didn't say it, but it should be obvious. Number 1 and 2, Houston Rockets and Golden State Warriors also clinched their playoff berth. Number 3, once again, is the Trailblazers. Number 4 is Oklahoma City Thunder at 41-29. Number 5, New Orleans Pelicans at 39-28. Number 6, Minnesota Timberwolves at 40-29. Number 7, the LA Clippers at 37-29. And number 8 is the Utah Jazz at 38-30. Tied for them that you had to show me and is not currently in the playoff picture if it started today. San Antonio Spurs.
That just does not. I just kept waiting to hear the Spurs name call, and you just kept going down the list, down the list, down the list, and I never heard the Spurs until. Let me give you a little rundown of the Spurs, and I'm gonna try to sum this up for you as best I can, but just yesterday I found out that the Spurs has lost 11 of their last 14 games. And in that stretch, on February the 25th, wasn't that long ago, they were number 3 in the West.
Are you serious?
Now they are sitting. Word. Now, yesterday they were 10, but they probably climbed up with a victory.
My word.
But they're on the verge of missing the playoffs for the first time since 1997. That's almost 21 years of consistently making the playoffs and winning over 50 games a season. Now, I know they've been without Kawhi a lot, and I know Aldridge is out now, but Tony Parker and Manu Ginobili has never missed the playoffs in their career. And they're at the end of their career, so it could very well be a reality if they only have 12 games left in the season to turn it around. And they're in unfamiliar territory for me.
Definitely.
That's like the Patriots with Tom Brady and Bill Belichick, on the outside looking into the playoffs. We're so used to them being there, they're gonna be there. And the Spurs, this year, it's been a very inconsistent year for them.
Yeah.
Do you think they'll make it?
Yeah, I think so.
You think they'll get in?
I don't see the Jazz holding that spot over them.
Jazz is a little tough team.
They are.
They chippy too. You saw them the other week. They got kind of chippy with the Timberwolves.
I didn't. But I'm not saying that to take away any credit from the Jazz, but I'm still stuck on the significance on the Spurs, the eliteness of the Spurs. So I just don't feel like, in comparison, that Utah can hold their record. It's not like they have to fight each other to get it. So Utah, whether or not San Antonio gets it or not, it's not going to be because of the Utah Jazz and vice versa. But I feel like San Antonio will find a way, personally.
Okay. I think they'll still get in too, but if they don't, that would be a weird playoff picture without the Spurs being there.
Because in between there, like you said, for the Spurs, they're tied with Utah Jazz, and they're still technically the same amount of games behind from the number 7 spot. The LA Clippers, even though the LA Clippers are 37-29. So they're all 15.5 games back. Those same three teams. Mm-hmm. So if they could just get on the streak and the other two stay on the stand.
Ain't that many games left to streak.
I mean, hey,
you got 12, 11 games left.
That's enough. That's enough to get in. Because I mean, look at this. Between number 4, like you said, between number 4 and 8, they go from 13.5. That's where how many games back the Thunder is. 14 for both number 5 and 6. And then 15.5 for the last two.
So lockout, they could either miss it or move up to highest the 4 seed.
Yeah, they could literally make a good jump depending on, like you said, the rain and the run that they could possibly go in these last few games.
Yeah, so, and they do have Greg Popovich, so if anybody can
come up with something,
yeah, you would think.
Yeah,
because it's crunch time now. We're so used to the Spurs, because we're so accustomed to seeing them already having everything clinched up by this time of the year. And
right.
Just sitting there waiting for the playoffs.
So, but that's all I got, man, for the NBA right now. Looking at, I'm going to go back and check on this game, though. See where we are at with the Wizards. And, 20 seconds left. As I can see right now, 13.1 seconds left, fourth quarter. 104, Celtics still 101, Washington Wizards. I'm about to see if I can get into that. And while I keep you updated, though, that's all we have in sports right now.
Yeah. I mean, with the NBA, and then we kind of hit the March Madness at this segment. We kind of put the basketball together. So getting to the stretch run of the regular season, and teams kind of jostling for that playoff position, and then trying to get ready to kick off the playoffs, which begins in April. And then we get ready to get on that roller coaster to the NBA Finals in June. So,
I'm sorry. I'm be honest with you.
You didn't say we're going to do a live feed, but I mean, if you want.
Didn't. No, I'm turning it down. I just want to make sure I find out as soon as possible. I am watching the game live. You heard it jump up on my phone. I apologize. But the score is 103-104. Celtics still up, 13.4 seconds left.
Where's this game being played at?
This is at Boston.
And they're playing the Wizards?
Yep.
Okay.
They're actually in the timeout, so it would make no sense.
Do you have the NBA little app thing?
I have it, but I'm not subscribed to them. No.
How did you get to see that?
ESPN. If you have DirecTV.
Oh, yeah. I didn't know this game was on ESPN, and I thought this might have been like an out-of-market game or something.
Oh, no.
Okay. I do like those gray uniforms the
Definitely.
Celtics have.
I was about to say, now, since we're sitting here talking about it, I'll play it and let them get this audio.
If you want to, I mean... If they do it, we can listen to it. We're going to give you guys a live listen in at this game.
Just for any copyright reasons, we do not own the rights to this listening. I see everybody do it when they play music on Facebook and stuff. They have to say that they don't own the rights. So we don't own the rights to ESPN and all this radio stuff. We're just letting you listen to it. But this is live.
Don't worry about that. Now they just got to get it inbounds because they're out of timeouts. Trying to get free. Larkin comes up. And Larkin quickly fouled with 12.5 remaining. Larkin has not been to the free throw line tonight. He's only taken 24 free throws all season, but he's hit 21 of them at 87%. He's had a terrific game off the bench. 9 points and 4 assists.
I love how it makes that sound.
That let you know that rotation was on
perfect.
That perfect. It just was where it needed to be. Look at the brothers.
The brothers boxing each other.
And they played together at Kansas.
Yeah.
I always thought they would have won a championship together there.
Wizards down 3, but they'll have the ball. Of course, here comes the question: when and if do you foul and make sure they don't get a chance to tie the game?
Correct. It's always the question: how much of this have you practiced? On the catch, do you let 4 or 5 seconds go, then foul, then force the inbound?
So you want to keep going?
Yeah, I want to see the end of this. I mean, you done got me intrigued. You know, I didn't know we were doing a live look-in, so I wasn't look at it now.
I didn't intend on making it a live thing, but the music somehow was still on when I loaded it up.
To dribble or 2, opportunity.
All about execution right now for the Washington Wizards, who came back from 20 down to take the lead.
They had a good playoff series last year too when they played each other too. Yeah, I think they went 7 games. Very good. Boston won.
It's so different now from the Celtics. Now we have no Isaiah.
Yep. I think they tried to get it to Beal.
Oh, of
He's
course.
their best 3-point shooter, so
I didn't realize Kyrie was out.
rest, probably out just because of rest.
Yeah.
A lot of times they play those back-to-backs like that. They try to.
Again, Celtics have fouled again. Both teams out of timeouts. Morris looking, finds Beal. Rozier on him. Beal fakes, dribbles, puts up the three-pointer.
Ooh!
Back out to Beal, but a whistle.
That thing rattled around halfway down and came back out.
That'll hurt you.
That's what they're going to check it out.
That'll hurt you.
And it came down.
This Steve Jarvis. He's been officiating for a long time.
Yeah.
Officials waving their arms.
Since I was a kid.
Celtics got a break there because
Look how far down that shot was.
They didn't take their foul at all, Mike. Didn't even look like they wanted to.
Wow, that's
it's
out.
out of bounds.
If it's on the Celtics, it's over.
That's gonna be Celtic ball there.
You think it's Celtics ball?
It looked like when he caught the ball, he was out of bounds.
When he caught it was out.
Yeah. Let me see. Look how far? Oh my!
So it'll be Wizards ball then.
Who touched it last? That's a tough one. Tatum tipped
That's
it.
that. Yeah, that'll be Wizards ball. It looks like Tatum hit it last.
Right.
Tatum's did.
This is a lot harder than the other out of bounds ones.
You're at all surprised the Celtics didn't look to use their foul to give.
Yeah, because then it gives you the option on that final foul to make sure the three-pointer doesn't go.
I mean, going by the momentum of it, it looks like it should have been Tatum. But I still feel like they're going to use it as it pushed, but it rolled off of his
hand. Yeah.
Looked like Tatum and it hits the backboard.
Correct.
And then goes out of bounds.
Washington might have one more opportunity here.
And again, because of the long replay, they can set up the play, even though they're out of timeouts. This is a tough one because obviously this has an enormous impact, or certainly could have an enormous impact.
They need to do a surprise and bring Kelly Oubre in for the three.
In terms of on the court, in live play, they called it Washington ball. They said it was all
Yeah,
Tatum.
so he said Washington ball.
Washington ball.
It's not enough to.
Got 5 seconds left.
And that's
We got to find a way to get Bill. You always have to watch the inbounder
Oh
in
yeah.
plays like this too.
Oh, they made it 5.5 seconds now.
Cause that inbounder will throw it in and get that little corner.
Oh yeah.
5.5 remaining. They put 5/10 back on the clock. Wizards down 3. Again, Celtics still have that foul to give.
You see the three perimeter players for the Celtics just being prepared at the three-point line for the catch.
Beal trying to get free. They throw it into Porter. Porter kicks it out of the corner. Open look from East. He wants it. Tie game with 2 seconds remaining.
Wow, that was nice how they did
That
that.
was.
They don't have any timeouts remaining. Morris heaves it from three-quarters court. And we're going to overtime. Jody makes
Well.
it. Was wide open.
Let me see that one more time before I got to see how they.
That was a good play.
That was.
Come in off the three-point line. You've got to stay disciplined in this instance. You see Morris, he's looking around, but he doesn't.
I thought he was gonna lay it up.
You got to sprint
Take
to
the
the
quick-
shooter. The two can't hurt you, Mike.
That's just the lapse.
That's what I'm saying. I thought he was gonna lay it up because he was
Right.
gonna go. He was gonna fall back to where he needed to go.
Guys were out on the three-point line. The two bigs were down on the block, but there was no need to be.
Jody Meeks, boy.
Meeks with his first three.
Yeah.
Ties the game. 5 more minutes on
That's
the
Well,
my boy.
unfortunately, we're gonna go ahead and we'll keep you updated on how this one turned out.
We-
It was
we
a good
cannot
spot.
go
There.
to- yeah.
That was a good spot for you to catch it at, though, impromptu. live look-in or listen-in. It was a look-in for us, a listen
Right.
for you guys. But Jody Meeks with a big 3 there to tie it up, sending that Wizards and Celtics game to OT. So we'll see who can come out of there with that win.
So with that note, I think we're officially done with basketball.
With the NBA.
Yeah. So when we come back, all that's left, we're going to wrap up Monday Night Raw, Tuesday SmackDown Live, the aftermath of WWE Fastlane. Where are we setting up the rest of these matches on the road to WrestleMania? Let's talk about it. Sports moves, 2 Moodys,
1 duty.
sports. We'll be right back. Alright guys, we're back for our last segment of Sports Moves. C Moody here with
D Moody.
2 Moodys,
1 duty.
sports. Time for some good old
Spizz
wrestling. Now we're going to kick it off with Monday Night Raw. And it starts off with Kurt Angle in the ring. And he announced again that Brock Lesnar won't be at Raw.
And this is 4 weeks to go to WrestleMania. I like when Roman Reigns said it a couple of weeks ago. He was like, "It's 6 weeks to go to WrestleMania, and the Universal Champion isn't here tonight."
Right. Yeah, I love how he's doing that, man. I think that's the best way for Roman to start to get over is by it's like now you're mad. Like pretty much now it's becoming the enemy of my enemy is my friend because as we know that just like John Cena, Roman Reigns is the kind of divisive fan like person to cheer for, which he still gets significantly more boos than cheers. So I think this way is like, well, we're more madder that Brock Lesnar won't show up. So now we want Roman Reigns to beat him up just out of that spite for not seeing Brock Lesnar there. So,
And I think they're trying to build Brock up as more of a heel. And I actually like this because it makes it. This is stuff we've been saying, and now we actually literally get to hear them put it into action and say it every week. And it's just like now Reigns is just wondering, like, he was just kind of made it a scenario like, hey, because I think they were in Detroit. Hey, if none of y'all didn't show up to work, what's going to end up happening to y'all? Y'all probably going to get fired, right? If you don't show up for work. Like, with me, he was like, I love how he always ties into. We always, like, if me or some of them other boys in the back don't show up, we probably get a fine or we probably get whatever, fired or whatever. And he's just like, well, what's the consequences for Brock Lesnar? Pretty much like for him not showing up. But he said, I get it, he is Vince McMahon's boy, but in all actuality, Roman Reigns is Vince McMahon's boy.
facts.
But you got to spin it.
You got to make it look.
And make it look like, well, Vince, you allowing him to do this. So, and then Roman just kind of went on to say, like, Vince, I'm not going to let Vince McMahon disrespect me. Like, like what's the consequences for Brock Lesnar not being here tonight? Is that kind of sort of what was said, kind of like from what you see?
No, it just says that the problem is of course Vince McMahon. And
then Roman and Kurt Angle was just like at first he was trying to stop Roman from saying that like Vince McMahon. He was like he kind of like put his hand up like, come on now, don't like, you pushing it. You don't
talk to
the
talk about
you gotta
man.
know So he was like, "I get it, Kurt. You the middleman. Like you just the middleman. Like I'm going straight to the source. Like it's Vince McMahon."
And you know what? I noticed somebody talked about it. Noticed Shane McMahon was back there.
They're at every show.
I know, but that gives it more realism. Like,
yeah,
you know,
it does.
like,
Yeah, like
you know, for the public eye, you just see Shane on Tuesday. So for him to just like go back there and like Shane's there, it's like, oh, he really just broke into this situation.
Remember how Stephanie came out when
Kevin Owens
headbutted Vince? So they're always there,
right? But I know they're always there. But I just like when they have to. It's almost like they have to force them to break it because it makes it seem like, oh, now we got to break the script to Stephanie to come out on SmackDown, Shane to be behind Vince McMahon, you know, and Raw. So
I get what you're saying. He went back there and he went back. You know, Roman kind of walked back there and Shane kind of stood up and he was just kind of like, "Hey, this ain't got nothing to do with you,"
right?
You know, type thing. Like I need your dad. Like, and so it showed them like they went off air after that happened and they talked during the break, and then when it came back from commercial, I think the Renee Young was interviewing Vince McMahon at that point, right?
Yeah.
Did it kind of have some of the comment? So basically what he said was he urged Roman Reigns to take advice from his cousin, The Rock. Know your role and shut your mouth.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, he did. He was like, so Vince had a serious face. Like he was like, I took some of the comments that he said on Vince McMahon. Yeah. So pretty much what I had, Vince McMahon informed Renee Young that he urged Roman Reigns to take advice of his cousin, The Rock, to know your role. Sometimes you have to know your role and shut your mouth. And McMahon informed Renee Young that for Roman Reigns' actions, he is temporarily suspended until further notice.
How you gonna suspend a man 2-3 weeks before WrestleMania?
And then he was like, and McMahon says like it's not his intention to disrespect Roman Reigns. That's not the issue here. It's not my intention to, disrespect Roman Reigns.
Right. Oh, but you know what? Now here's something that I don't know if maybe this is something that they're doing it for. From my resources at Wrestle Talk TV on YouTube, Luke Owen and Ollie Davis, they say that there's a possibility of, I don't know if we talked about it like some weeks ago when they had that situation where a drug, like one of the dudes who gives like I don't know if you would say it, performance enhancing drugs or stuff, and they said that Roman Reigns was one of his customers, and Roman Reigns denied it. Well, apparently one of his people have said that they have, I guess, undeniable evidence that can show that Roman Reigns was a part of it. So I think like they were saying that it's a possibility that they might have to pull Roman if all these allegations become true. So it's like this might be like a open, like kind of an open end segue where it's a double door where if Roman Reigns can be in good, it kind of helps towards his character building for WrestleMania. And if he doesn't, it still works with Vince McMahon suspending him because he might have to really get suspended. Mm-hmm. So
I can see that, and it kind of like you said, it kind of leaves the door open for any scenario at that point.
Right. But then let's say if this is true, what do we do with that title? Like what do we do with Brock Lesnar?
Well, he ain't there anyway.
So do we force?
You gotta defend that title.
That's what I mean. Like who is in the face of him? Braun? You think they finally pushed, like, let go of that button and let Braun Strowman get that title? Because whoever Brock Lesnar is facing is getting the title. Like, that's pretty much almost, I say 98% a guarantee that whoever faces Brock Lesnar, if for some crazy reason that Roman can't do it because of this whole allegations, they're getting the title because Brock Lesnar is pretty much built to leave now.
Yeah, he's leaving. He's had the title for a year now, so almost a full year. So I don't know. I hope that doesn't happen. It would suck that they've pretty much hijacked the whole WWE calendar year for this match.
Exactly.
And then it not even get a chance to ever happen. So I'm hoping that it doesn't come to the fact that Roman would have to not compete at Mania, but
Yeah.
I'm hoping that him and Brock does get the opportunity. But like I say, when getting back into the promotional side of it, like last week, I liked the promo that Paul Heyman cut. But then it's like every week they're saying Brock is going to be there, and it's like now I don't even know when to believe he's going to be there, because last week Paul Heyman's like, my client will be, here next week, and but I'm thinking they may keep doing this until the final week, until Mania, and then they don't finally come face to face until
just make him face.
Yeah.
So you think that he won't show up until WrestleMania?
No, he won't show up until like the go home show.
Yeah, he has to show up on the go home show.
Yeah,
has to.
And it makes Brock look more heelish, and it leaves you to wonder, like, we haven't seen any physical confrontation or face-to-face confrontation between these two. They try to build it up like that.
Right.
But, yeah, he wasn't in the building, so Roman is temporarily suspended for now. No Brock is showing up, so I really don't know where they're going with this. Hopefully they can tie it in and to make it make sense.
Yeah. Like what this source said, maybe they're trying to book this as a quote unquote red herring to turn Roman like The Rock at the Survivor Series of '98. Well, it was like kind of, I don't know, I don't remember '98 Survivors, so I don't know. Did The Rock turn heel that time?
That's when he went to corporation.
So you think? I mean, technically, Roman is behind the scenes the corporation of Vince McMahon. So you think they'll finally be like, "This is my boy." I would like this. I might want to see that, actually. I mean, because you might as well book him as a strong heel than try to force him as a babyface.
I kind of like Roman in between.
I don't like that. Because it pisses me off when the crowds are like, boo! And I'm like, dude, this is like the best nigga. Like, because I personally like Roman, so it's like this the best dude up here.
I can see him being a good heel, but I'm just so used to him being the odds against him.
But you know what I felt like the best time that they should have pulled the trigger on him going heel is when he backed up Braun Strowman in the ambulance.
That too. That was
that should have been the perfect time for
that
him.
That was an opening, and even during the time, even though he couldn't do it, but remember the time where he just went crazy on Triple H.
Oh yeah,
yeah, that too.
That would have been a good heel spot.
And then Vince McMahon came and made him
he
go.
speared heel. But I mean, the only reason that wouldn't work because that storyline was him against the authority anyway.
Yeah.
So for him to go heel when they're the heels, Triple H and McMahon, it would have just like it would have kind of been contradicting, I guess. But I really like that.
Yeah. It really wasn't supposed to be Triple H. It was really supposed to be Seth. Him and Seth.
But he got hurt, right?
Seth that got hurt.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. And Seth that took his championship at Money in the Bank the year before. I mean, not Money in the Bank, cashed in on him, yeah.
So that's what that was. But the first match leading up was Sasha Banks versus Sonya Deville.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see what
she
tapped to the bank statement.
And it looked like they were gonna. Bayley was down there near ringside, from what I saw. But it was like as soon as it was over, she walked away. And then it was like
she got jumped.
They tried to jump her, and Bayley didn't come down to help.
That's funny.
Excuse me. Yeah, she didn't come down, and I thought Paige was actually gonna get physical because she was up on the air. I said, "Well, okay, Paige, are you back or like?" But she waited on Sonya and Mandy, and then once they got in there, she was just kind of like, "Hey, get him!" Like, so I guess she's still.
Yeah, I think she's still out
in a way,
unfortunately. So how'd you feel about that match? Was it a good one?
Yeah,
it was.
It was I know the bank statement would prevail.
Of course. So next we have Miz TV, which is The Miz, the Intercontinental Champion, talking to his opponents at WrestleMania, Finn Balor and Seth freaking Rollins. Well, she doesn't use that anymore. It's just the King Slayer.
Sometimes you'll have it on the shirt. Seth is going to so many different...
He's like
I don't know where he is now. He's the architect. He's Monday Night Rollins. He used to be the architect. He used to be the what was the Kingslayer, redesign, reclaim. I'm like, Seth is everywhere. I like Seth though.
Man with a lot of faith and with a lot of hits.
Yeah.
I just happened to catch it just now. Giving an update back on the game between the Wizards and the Celtics. The Wizards are up 115 to 113. 10 seconds left in overtime. So there it is. So,
you ain't trying to do that live look yet though.
You want to try it? I mean, if you want to do that live look in now, I will turn it on. You done got me prompted up, man. Let me also going on the Golden State Warriors up 14-13 on the Lakers.
Okay.
Turn it this way.
Satoransky, I mean, just really good team awareness. Always in the right spot, Satoransky, Mike.
We acting like it's a finals game.
Right.
Like, I mean, like this is important.
So now we have to do this in the finals.
Hit a couple of free throws. Again, the Celtics have one timeout remaining. Wizards coming off that tough loss last night at home to Minnesota, trying to avoid a 3-game losing streak.
Mike, they had a similar situation almost the exact same time and frankly turned it over themselves.
Now the officials are talking about, did they call the timeout? Did the Celtics, because Brad Stevens...
I hate all this.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, while they're talking in timeout, I'm gonna continue with this with Monday Night Raw. The Miz TV led into Seth and Finn kind of pretty much Miz playing advocate to play against each other, and it led to a match between the two. After we had the Bar, well, that was for later on tonight, but after that we had the Bar versus the Miztourage, which apparently didn't happen because all the tag teams decided to come out because, of course, Sheamus and Cesaro said that there's nobody to face anymore, so now everybody's trying to stake their claim. And we're back to the update because now they're about to take it in.
Cross in 2 seconds. Morris looking, finds Beal off his fingertips, can't get it. Celtics ball. Back-to-back turnovers first from the Celtics. Now the Wizards, as Beal is shaken up, now Boston will get the ball back. Only down 2.
They don't want to win.
Shaken up on the play.
I'm trying to give it to him. It looked like.
So Beal's down right now. They actually was trying to find an opening for Beal to get the ball, running towards the sidelines. He actually tripped up while the defenders heavily over him. He fell pretty hard, but the ball still went off of his hands. It is Wizards ball. Not Bill. I mean Celtics ball. They're down 2. So the Bar versus the Miztourage, which turned into the tag team tournament. I think that's set up too. So
there's a whole tag division pretty much. We start jumping them. So,
which they should. I mean, it's disrespectful. They are saying you can beat we done did everything. Who's really is there to face?
After they got beat up, they went whining in the backstage area to Kurt Angle. Like, we want to go to SmackDown. We want to be traded. I'm hearing rumors there's going to be a superstar shakeup after WrestleMania anyway. SmackDown would never treat us like this. Maybe we could fight. They was just listing tag teams over there.
Really?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Maybe we could break into Uso Penitentiary is what they were saying. Or maybe we could stuff those pancakes down New Day's face or whatever. And they were just saying stuff like that. And Kurt was like, I'm not trading you to SmackDown Live. But what I will do is have a tag team battle royal tonight, and whoever wins is going to be your opponents at WrestleMania.
Wow, that's funny.
And then Sheamus is sitting there. You can tell that he just got beat up because his mohawk is all
laid out.
It's all laid out and messed up.
So the ball is back. The ball is back with the Celtics. 8.8 seconds left.
It's taken a long time to finish this one up, but a lot of wild stuff has happened. Rozier comes up top, guarded by Porter. Rozier looks, wants to get it to Tatum. Tatum turns. Tatum drives. Layup is up.
Oh!
And a foul! He got fouled. Tied the game with a free throw coming up.
Come on, Gortat. We do Blue Devil. I saw when he got that spin and he hit that lane, he drove to the lane. I said, he's going to get a foul or it's going to be a charge and he's going to make it. Watch it. See? Watch him hit that spin. That was it.
Oh, that was close, though. Gortat could...
That could go in either way.
Yeah. Looked like a millisecond earlier, that could have went as a charge. They have any timeouts? No timeouts. Washington. With 3.1 seconds left.
Wizards don't have a timeout, so they have to go the length of the floor in 3.1. Tatum's free throw, no good. Rebound taken. Morris has it, fires it down the court.
Another overtime.
Going to double overtime,
Tatum
guys.
misses the free throw. That's what a big boot ever do for you in the clutch.
Wow. Okay, guys. So we have the tag team back at Monday Night Raw. We have the tag team tournament that's going to be underway, but after which we have a very interesting John Cena.
Oh yeah.
So I will let you kind of take that helm for that one.
So obviously, as we know, previously the night before at Fastlane, John Cena was unsuccessful in winning his 17th championship to tie. Well, he's tied with Flair now, right? No,
yeah, he's tied with Flair.
He's tied with Flair now.
One more would give him the 17.
One more would give him the 17. So at this time, you know, he doesn't have a road to WrestleMania, pretty much. You know, this is the first time in history that John Cena is probably not going into WrestleMania having a match or a champion going into Mania or fighting for a championship.
But I hear he has a plan.
He has a plan. So he was like, you know, I'm going to be at WrestleMania, whether I'm a part of it or not. Maybe I could buy a ticket and sit right here on the front row and just watch the show. Now, I'm still at WrestleMania, and he goes into the crowd and maybe I could sit right here and then he's just talking about I could sit here and chant and scream just like the rest of you, and I could say, is one of the chants he said something, and then he said, "Let's go Roman," and everybody was like, "Ooh." Then he took a sip of the guy's beer, and then he went back into the ring. He was like, or I could do something that the WWE says I'm not to do, or that can't happen, or that's impossible to happen. And challenge The Undertaker to a match at WrestleMania. Yeah. And everybody's kind of like getting amped up about it again, because when he said it a couple weeks ago, it's kind of like, you know, everybody's just sitting there like, you fooled us, like, fool me once. Like, don't come out here doing this to us again. But he had some harsh things to say. He said, you know what, it kind of makes me think that the WWE is not against this happening, because if they were, and I were to continue to say this, that I challenge The Undertaker. He kept saying it, like testing it, like I challenge The Undertaker to a match at WrestleMania. Yeah, they would have cut my mic. It would take the sound out of my mic. So I'm starting to think that it's not the WWE not wanting this. It's not me not wanting it. The only person that's stopping this is The Undertaker himself. And he was like, you need to get over your own ego. You're not too old, because if you think you're too old, then you wouldn't be on your wife's Instagram posting workout videos. Dang. And then he was like, disrespectful. You're the only person that's stopping this. He was, Cena was, whew.
I'm about to say, this is really the first time somebody like just disrespected.
Went to The Undertaker. He was like, and then he was like, how many of you want to see, he said, so if it takes feeding your ego to make it happen, allow me to do my best. And then he was like, how many of you want to see The Undertaker beat my at WrestleMania? And everybody's like, everybody's like, he was like, well, how many of you want to see The Undertaker tombstone me at WrestleMania? Yeah. And everybody got excited about it. And then he kind of ended with it with like, to The Undertaker, like, the ball is in your court, dead man. Right. Time to see if you're still alive. But I do kind of want to hear the sound bites. I know I saw you had a video there. Oh. See if you can play just a snippet of it.
How much it does play? Let me start off by having this This media down. Okay, it is. All right, let's see. Of course, the advertisement's going on, so bear with us.
I can't
I'm gonna
believe
go ahead and
that.
double check on this double
They
overtime.
ain't in double OT though.
There's Washington still up 119, 117, 3 minutes 30 seconds left in double OT.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see. It's a 4 minutes, so I'm gonna try and push it towards the end just to see what he
Put like at 2 minutes.
put it in. 2 minutes.
About 2 minutes 30
All right.
seconds or so.
Say no more, Cap. Not the notification.
And stop hiding behind your lame excuses. You are not too old. You are not washed up. You are not broken down. Because if you was broken down, you wouldn't be posting workout videos on your wife's Instagram. The only person stopping this match from happening is you self-centered, conceited egomaniac. So if it takes feeding your ego to make it happen, allow me to try my best. Do you want to see The Undertaker kick my ass at WrestleMania? Do you want to see The Undertaker tombstone me in front of 75,000 people at WrestleMania? They want to see it, and I'd like to see you try it. So, Undertaker, at WrestleMania this year, I'm either going as a fan, which will be awesome, because I hope you're going too, it's going to be a party, or I'm going as your opponent, which will be history. The ball is in your court, dead man. Time to see if you're still alive.
I like how he said, still alive.
If I was you, I know what I would do. I would want one more match.
I like John. John is one of the best promo cutters there.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like, he's the best.
So now I can tell you what I said I wanted to tell you earlier about what I feel like is going to happen. So then I'm gonna give you kind of just what we've talked about.
Okay.
So the weird thing that about Undertaker coming back is because it kind of felt ominous of Undertaker leaving, because he kind of left his attire, gloves, and hat and cape, trench coat. So it's like, you know. So why would you make him come back after you like really ceremoniously did that and left it in the ring and everything? We forget that there's another persona to the Undertaker, which is the American Badass. When he used to have the bandana riding the motorcycle around. True. And here's another reason that a plug on Wrestle Talk TV said that, is that I haven't seen it myself, but they said that Kid Rock is in the Hall of Fame this year.
That's right.
What better way for him to go into WrestleMania weekend than to play the American Badass song for Undertaker? And I just thought of this part. This would be awesome, because now John Cena's kind of being a lot more thuggish, if you will. So now we got the Thugonomics versus the American Badass, instead of having the ceremonious dead man versus the righteous hustle, loyalty, respect John Cena. So now we're getting their alter ego characters as the way that both of them end their careers. Because I feel like for Undertaker, definitely, like, this is definitely going to be Undertaker's last. Mm-hmm. Now, Cena might come back kind of like how The Rock has done some nice spots, some cheap shots here and there. But this could be, like, as far as, like, real-time kind of situation, John Cena's last too. So I feel like what better way to do it and not mess up the whole thing that Undertaker did last year to make him put it back on. And it's like, why would you do it one time and do it again? Kind of like how Brett Favre first time leaving was so super ceremonious, but then he came back like 6 more times, and it was like, is he coming back next year? I mean, even though I love Brett Favre, and I was so happy every year he came back, I was like, yes, this man came back. but it kind of got rid of the whole, oh man, he's gone. He's going to come back. So that
could be, and that could be because back during the time when Undertaker was the American Bad A, that's when
John Cena started.
Just really,
look at that. I didn't even realize
in the
that.
making. Yeah.
How about that? The American Bad A versus. I mean, even then, like
at least the Undertaker would get to the ring faster. He'd be on a motorcycle, so
better get there. He'll have the fastest time to the ring.
Yeah. That's good logic, man. I mean, I think WWE should strongly consider it. I mean,
I hope that's where they're
make
going.
it worth something.
I hope.
I mean, I like the Undertaker as Undertaker. Like that
Me
will
too.
always be his persona with the dead man,
right?
But and you remember it used to say "Dead Man Inc."
Yeah,
on his shirt. So yeah, I would like to see that come back, but I don't know.
Yeah,
I would. We just have to see.
Yeah, time will tell.
But I know we're definitely going to get the match.
Yeah, we're getting that match. Like it's going to happen.
Mm-hmm. Like Undertaker is not going to let you keep calling him out and not accept it.
So
that's the only thing John Cena hasn't done. So you can't say John Cena is one of the greatest of all time if he haven't fought the Undertaker.
I don't think he's going. Well, if John Cena is going, like I said, if John
fought all the other greats, so
right. If John Cena's to continue like having some kind of aftermath career, part time, however season or whatever he does, he has to win though. Like for me, like I wouldn't. I mean, even though he's going to be the greatest, but what is cemented would be for him to win this match. Mm-hmm. Like so, I mean, of course he's still going to be the GOAT. I feel like they are going to. I feel like sooner or later they are going to let him come back to get his 17th win. I don't know. I feel like maybe because they just really respect Ric Flair so much that they won't let him beat it. Mm-hmm. But if they do, they're going to let. I mean, of course, John Cena is the only person close enough right now. The only two people next would be Triple H and Randy Orton. I think.
Like Orton's like 13 and Triple H is 14.
I think. Yeah, it's just like that. So, and the only out of those three, the only one that's a full time competing is Randy Orton. So, but still, that's what that is.
So yeah, he called out the Undertaker, and then as we move along with Raw, we move on to the next thing. What was that?
Elias of blaming the audience for
he didn't give him a performance.
He's upset, man.
After his Symphony of Destruction match
that he asked for.
He asked for it. So and Strowman gave him, "You're gonna get these hands."
So, and then Braun Strowman, on the other hand, says that, because he doesn't have a match, he's going to just do whatever, cause chaos, do whatever he has to do to get his way into it. Mm-hmm. Which leads us into our next match, which is a rematch of SummerSlam main event. No, not SummerSlam.
Yeah, it was SummerSlam
Summer 16. Summer 16. Finn Balor versus Seth Rollins. And because
Miz TV just earlier that night, he just tried to put them against each other.
Exactly, and it worked apparently.
Mm-hmm.
So, but basically, this match, of course, I think between these two is always going to be somewhat of a good match. Mm-hmm. Can't wait to see it. But it ends with Balor countering the superplex off the top rope. How he rolls him back up into a Falcon Arrow. Yep. Yeah, he catches them in that package, the small package as they call it, for the roll-up pin. And Finn Balor beats Seth Rollins. What are the odds?
Yeah.
And then we see that somebody who just kind of made a move to SmackDown, technically, Asuka, is getting interviewed about why she's leaving to fight Charlotte. Alexa Bliss and Mickie James come out to say that it's because that she knows she couldn't beat her and whatever and keep her winning streak. But Asuka says that she chose Charlotte because she wanted to beat the best champion. Mm-hmm. Which
she fight to be the woman, you gotta beat the woman.
So,
like the old Ric Flair adage.
Right. And so that leads into James cheap-shotting Asuka, which leads into the match between Mickie James and Asuka, which, of course, because the streak must be intact, the Asuka wins with her infamous Asuka lock. Mm-hmm. How did you feel about that match?
It was obvious. It went the way I thought it would go.
Right.
Mickie James is just... There's no match for her. She's not ready for Asuka.
Exactly. No one's ready for Asuka yet. Next, we have Nia Jax back to what all big wrestlers do at one time, take out local talent. So she makes quick work of her. But in this, we see the cameras come backstage to the locker rooms with Bliss and Mickie James, where Bliss is pretty much insulting Nia Jax in all types of ways, picking at her size, how she's just dumb, taking advantage of her, and then the same interviewer from earlier goes back and tells Bliss that you know that everyone's hearing you basically, and you're supposed to be calling her your friend. And then Nia Jax, which is like honestly the best character to me, just because she can cry on an instant.
Yes, she can.
And she looked like she broke down again. And I think this is becoming Nia Jax's baby face, because even though everyone loved her, like, she was always supposed to be booked as the bad girl, and but then there was times where she was sitting getting so much pop, just like Rusev. They become that neutral person that we don't trash talk anybody. We just come out and wrestle to embrace the crowd. But now I feel like this is gonna fully make her the good giant, I guess. And hopefully this is leading to her WrestleMania shot, since now that Asuka's over there with Charlotte, and we know that Ronda's gonna be busy with the McMahons and Kurt Angle. So I think that's
she
only
went
fair.
backstage and tore that area up once Alexa Bliss and them realized it was on and rolling. They were packing their stuff up real quick and leaving, and she was just saying some really harsh stuff about her and talking about her weight, saying that she's dumb. She just does what I tell her to do. Because next week Alexa Bliss has to fight Asuka, and she was telling Nia Jax earlier that night that she want her to be in her corner to help her. So I think this is leading to that WrestleMania match between Bliss and Nia Jax. Yep.
So guys, back to the basketball update. While we did not catch the last seconds of second overtime, there is a winner now. The winner is by 1 point, Washington Wizards, 125-124.
They did good to compete without Kyrie like that.
Yep. And Mike Scott is the person to make the... Nope. I went the wrong way. Wait, where is it at? Oh, here it is, second overtime. Sorry, give me a second. Who was it? Terry Rozier hit a 26-footer to make the Celtics be up. And then who made them be up? No, to make it 24-25. So they were up 25-24 for Bradley Beal, who made a 2-pointer, then got fouled and made his extra foul, so he got a shot and an and one. That's what made it 125-119. Then Greg Monroe, they came back with Greg Monroe making a layup, and then Terry Rozier with a 3-pointer to get it by one, but they could never get that extra point. So sorry for that rambling. Wizards won 125-124. Now we are towards what I think is the main event of Monday Night Raw, which is a tag team battle royal with all the other tag teams in the division. And it's just funny to say, and Braun Strowman,
he just randomly came out like, hey, I ain't got nothing else to do tonight, so I'm tired of beating up Elias, so
it's hilarious.
More competition.
So, in long story short, because it's a long and painful story for the other teams, Braun Strowman defeats Titus Worldwide, The Revival, Heath Slater and Rhino, and the Good Brothers, Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows. So, I'm guessing this makes him number one contender for the championship match. So, my only question now is, are they going to let WrestleMania be Braun Strowman versus The Bar and let him hold the tag titles? Or are they going to make him get a tag team partner?
I think you should let him win it without it.
You think they should let him win it without it?
That'll just build him up more, like he win the tag titles, and then tag teams literally try to win them back, and they can't.
Yeah, I was about to say, because technically he beat all the other tag teams by himself. So with that happening, it's not like he couldn't defend it.
Mm-hmm.
So if he can beat the bar for the titles by himself, he's shown that he can beat everybody in the tag division, at least on Raw. And we know that there's a superstar shakeup in the midst afterwards on WrestleMania, as they tend to do. So I like this idea. Actually.
I like it too. It caught me off guard. I was like, why is he in this? Like, what does he have to do with this?
Yeah.
But I like it because it gives you the chance, like, he's so good, he doesn't need a tag partner.
And you know what? And I knew I was kind of like upset about it, how overly strong they built him at Elimination Chamber. But this kind of definitely continues to play with it very well, because if he can kick out like I said, the 4-man powerbomb at Elimination Chamber, followed by everyone's finisher, this should be a piece of cake for him. Even though Sheamus and Cesaro are technically definitely on their own accredited heavyweights and champions for I don't know if Cesaro has won one by himself. I don't think he's won it.
He hasn't.
He hasn't won one. But
Sheamus
Sheamus
is US champ, I think.
Right, but Sheamus has won a lot of heavyweights championships on his own WWE titles. So if they make it 1 versus 2 for tag team titles, I am happy to see it.
I think so too. It'll be something different.
Definitely something different.
Interest in it.
So, and that is Monday Night Raw. Do you want to rate it out of 10?
Out of 10 for me, Raw was. I like the thing with Roman and Vince. I like with the John Cena Undertaker. Balor and Seth was okay. It wasn't as good as.
I know what you're gonna rate it.
They had some better matches than that.
I'm about to look. I'm about to make a number. I'm about to put my hands down and pick a number, and I'm just gonna see if I'm right with what you said. So
Okay.
Let me go ahead and get my hands right.
So my rating for Raw tonight was a 5 out of 10.
All right.
Well, you thought I was gonna say 60?
No, and the funny thing is, I had my hand at 5, and I was like, he's gonna say 6. So I put up, and as soon as I put up my extra finger to make a 6, you said 5 out of 10.
See, I knew you were gonna say that because I always say 6.
I was about to say
Raw
that's
wasn't
why.
good. Raw was okay.
Really? Like on paper, because like I said, I haven't seen it.
On paper, it was.
On paper, this looks like this was an excellent Raw for me. On paper, this looks like
excellent.
This looks like an excellent Raw for
They
me.
could
Like,
come on there and
look, the John Cena promo. The John Cena
That
promo,
was that
even
was
from
awesome.
even from that little 2 minutes I saw, looks like that was an excellent promo as always.
It was.
The Battle Royal with Braun was excellent. You have the turning of Nia Jax, of course, even though the downside of her squashing somebody, but the whole storyline with that, the storyline is golden.
storylines than matches.
Huh?
In the show, we're there to see people wrestle.
But you still need a storyline to build why they wrestle.
I understand, but she just squashed somebody.
Yeah,
That had nothing to do with
but
the
it still
squad.
played with the storyline though. It was like she's doing her regular day at work, and then she just is. It's like one of them kind of like locker room talks. Like I overheard that they said, but we actually saw them say it. So it's like it plays into her storyline.
I get you. I guess
We got
guess.
what else? The Seth and Finn, which you said it was okay, but I feel like it's probably good. It probably was better than okay. You're a hard
It
critic.
was okay.
And then we have
SummerSlam was better. The match they had when he put the curb stomp on him a couple of weeks ago, when we went crazy that the curb stomp was back, was better than the one they had.
That's because you was excited about the curb stomp.
No, but it was actually a good match.
Yeah, it was. And then the Sasha, I feel like not the match, the Sasha Banks versus Sonya Deville, but the storyline
You're just
afterwards.
into the storylines. None of this.
Because you're
stuff is
supposed to. This is a show. This is a
wrestling show.
Entertainment.
World Wrestling
Entertainment.
What came first? Wrestling.
Yeah.
Give me some quality wrestling. You can still entertain me and give me quality
And what
wrestling.
do they have to make it? Entertainment.
They do, but they said you can give me quality wrestling matches too.
Hey, what does ESPN stand for?
They're the worldwide leader in sports. Entertainment Sports Network.
Entertainment, huh?
I think is it Entertainment Sports Network?
Yeah, I'm pretty
I
sure
don't
it is.
know.
I'm pretty sure.
I just know they're the worldwide leader in sports.
I'm about to see.
No, don't do it. Because they killed me with that.
You don't want me to look it up?
Go ahead and look it up. Why see Moodys doing that? You going to give your rating for Raw? Well, you
My
haven't
rate-
watched it yet, so you can't rate it.
On paper, yeah, I can't rate it.
Yeah,
I can't
you
honestly
haven't
give a
watched
rating,
it.
but on paper, it looks like it's probably a 7 or 8.
Okay. Okay.
I'm just saying.
Sure. Vince will love you again. We want him. He's
Yep.
a company guy.
Entertainment and Sports Programming Network.
Okay, I don't know. I was wrong.
Entertainment. WWE.
World Wrestling.
Entertainment.
Wrestling.
Entertainment.
Wrestling.
Entertainment.
Wrestling.
Entertainment.
Wrestling.
Entertainment.
Wrestling.
So now we are on to SmackDown Live Tuesday nights, and let's see how this one started off. If I'm not mistaken, it started off with AJ Styles and Rusev kicking off.
It started off with AJ Styles coming out talking about how he survived, like how he won the match and how the odds was against him, and how he was able to still win. He said didn't feel good when he got AA through that table. He thought it was over. He really did, but he was able to find a way. And Nakamura comes out talking, and he says what he says. Need to face, and then Rusev music hits, and Rusev and AJ Styles fought. And that's all I saw because I fell asleep.
That's hilarious.
I'm sorry.
So that goes into the match between AJ Styles versus Rusev. And let's see. Of course, Rusev being the bigger person, I'd expect him to be the muscle, but then again, it's the phenomenal one. And so he's going to find a way.
Always.
Yeah. But while, let's see, I'm going to read it as it says. While the Lion of Bulgaria controlled the bout for a good while, overwhelming the champ, Rusev's size prevented Styles from using his full arsenal as he tried to clamp on the calf crusher. English attacked. So that means Styles won by a DQ.
Mm-hmm.
So, which is...
I think Nakamura was like over near commentary, and he came in and helped AJ.
Yeah.
And after that, I don't remember nothing.
So next we have the Bludgeon Brothers versus Jimmy Uso and Big E. They're backstage talking about how the Bludgeon Brothers were getting interviewed. Big E gives a heartfelt thing of how they took out Kofi and Xavier Woods, and then Jimmy Uso comes in to say the same for Jey Uso. So they wanted a chance to get their hands back on them, and yeah, that
who ended up winning that?
The Bludgeon Brothers,
of course.
So they actually won pretty dominantly, as they
should.
So
they're the Bludgeon Brothers. You can't have a name like that and don't win.
And Big E took a lot of aftermath.
What?
They continue to beat up on Big E. That's it. Good. They didn't give specifics. They just said they continue to beat up on him. So,
if you want gyrating, they're not pancakes at all.
Right. So next we have Asuka. Now arrives to the Blue Brand. Now she's coming out, and Flair talks about how she's excited for choosing to fight her, and when Asuka stepped in the ring, Charlotte told her that she was hoping to fight her in order to cement her legacy, and Asuka just said she liked it because she enjoys a challenge. And then Randy Orton just kind of comes in to get ready for his stuff. He just like,
I don't care about what y'all.
I was like, for the last couple of weeks at SmackDown, that you've seen them like cut each other off with other promos, like to start the next match. Like, all right, your time. It's almost like the Grammys. Like, your time is over.
Yeah,
Let's
they had that little thing.
Play the music.
Yep.
So Orton comes in to celebrate that, his championship win, and then Bobby Roode comes in to remind him that he has his rematch. And he's going to exercise it at WrestleMania. So now we have the United States Championship match kind of set up because Jinder Mahal.
Somehow Jinder going to get put in some kind of way.
Jinder Mahal comes in to want to do that, and that leads to a fight between Jinder Mahal and Bobby Roode. And they have that fight, but distracted by the other Singh brother, Sunil, he put the Colossus on Bobby Roode and hit the win. And then Randy Orton hits an RKO. I love Randy Orton for just doing the RKO. Out of, like, he's really falling into that trademark that people used to meme about, the out of nowhere stuff. Mm-hmm. So I'm really glad about that. Then we have Naomi versus Carmella. What between their little rivalry, at least from Fastlane and tonight, what it talks about is she's been doing a lot of pulling on Naomi's hair. And so like,
and Carmella screams all the time.
She does, and I kind of like it because it's almost like, I don't know. I guess maybe it's like a young Miz to me. Like she wants to fight, but then she's like, like still a coward, but still a fighter.
She's had that Money in the Bank. They were saying like for 260 something days. So they was trying to figure out like she's getting really close to. She's like within 100 days where that contract is going to be expiring. So when is she? Because they were talking about it at Fastlane. When is she going to make her move?
What if she does it at WrestleMania? But again,
it don't seem like she's had it that long, but she's had it for a while.
Yeah, she has.
She could try it at WrestleMania. I don't think she want to try it.
If she tries it on, I was about to say, if she tries it on that match, it's going to be over. So
you ain't gonna win.
Or could because that'll mess up that dream. They're not going to mess up the dream match, I don't think. But maybe she interferes. What if she does this? She interferes on the Raw's championship match.
Well, I think it's for SmackDown, right? Or is it
it is. It was. It was SmackDown branded that year.
Yes. I wish it could be for any.
That would have been dope.
Any champion you want to face.
But it should be this year if they're going to do Money in the Bank with both teams. It should be that way. So, which leads a lot to the speculation. Shane McMahon WrestleMania announcement. That's what it says next. So let's see. This one I'm gonna just read it verbatim because both of us didn't see this part.
I did. I definitely.
Zayn and Owens each ranted about the current situation with them and McMahon. McMahon explains why he has so much animosity. He admits that he's been kind of being bad as a commissioner, and he's going to take a leave of absence. Yeah. So
okay.
But before he does that, he informs that Kevin Owens will face Sami Zayn at WrestleMania.
Wow.
Yep. And so KO comes out to wish McMahon luck, quote unquote. And then it leads to him, Sami Zayn, and Kevin Owens jumping Shane McMahon. One good time. And then not only did they beat him up in the ring, they dragged him backstage and powerbombed him on the ladder.
Ooh. Shane gonna have to find a partner to face them, and you know who that partner gonna be?
Who's gonna be? And that was technically the main event.
Bryan.
You say you hope it's Daniel Bryan? Do you think Daniel Bryan's gonna be ready? Because that's the real major thing about it. He had
been on there for. I think he's ready to get in the ring now. I still think he works out and.
I mean, no, I think
what he needs to do.
Yeah, I think physically he's ready, but like he has to be cleared by. What I've heard, it has to be a specific WWE doctor that has to clear him. So it's all based off of whether or not if he's cleared.
If Kurt got cleared, I don't see why Daniel can't.
That's true too.
You know, Kurt had neck issues and all that too. Yeah, and now he's.
Wrestled. He already wrestled fill-in for Roman when he got sick.
Mm-hmm.
Now going at WrestleMania, so I really hope that they could do put Daniel Bryan in because Daniel Bryan.
Saying you got to wrestle him every week like he used to, but just throw him in every once in a while. Throw him into something.
But he should be leading back because on Twitter, Daniel Bryan has made a lot of kind of like acclamations that he wants to wrestle regardless of if WWE does it or not. If his contract expires, he's going to go wrestle. Like he regardless of who lets him or where he goes, he's going to wrestle.
Yeah, that's his passion. That's what he does. That's what he desires to do. So he's not giving up on it yet.
So that, my friend, is the combination of Raw and SmackDown. Mm-hmm. If you had to rate SmackDown, what do you give it?
Just off paper.
Off paper, because both of us can't honestly rate it because we haven't seen it in its entirety. I know D. Moody's seen some of it. I unfortunately had a lot of other stuff.
I would have to say 5.
5 out of 10?
I think that's fair because I haven't seen it.
Okay.
Just hearing parts of it, like maybe if something draws me, I could add maybe 2 more to it.
I'd probably give it a 6 out of 10.
Okay.
Off paper.
Now I got to see how they beat up Shane.
Yeah, I was about to say, I don't see
how they lead up to that.
Even I feel like I would give it a 6 out of 10 even if I watched it because looking at on paper, the highlights for me would be the Kevin Owens beat up, Sami Zayn on Shane, and the Jimmy and Big E trying to fight off the Bludgeon Brothers, and then the spiel with Asuka, Charlotte, and then Jinder and Bobby Roode with Randy Orton.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But we're getting closer to WrestleMania. It's getting close to like almost a month away at this point. So we're getting closer and closer. So we're gonna see how the WWE shows us how all of it's gonna come together for WrestleMania. I'm excited for it, but there's still some stuff that's really not been shown to us just yet. So we just need to make sure that we stay tuned so we don't miss any important information regarding WrestleMania. And now that we know John Cena has challenged The Undertaker, we're just waiting to see how The Undertaker's going to respond at this point.
And what persona will he respond
Who will it be?
as?
Yeah, how will he respond? Will it be something on the Titantron? Does he pop up in the building? Does he, because John Cena can roam from show to show. So will it be
on Raw?
On Raw? Will it be on SmackDown? How will he respond? When will he respond?
I feel like, I wonder, for me being a fan, I want him to show up next week, like as soon as possible.
No.
But I feel like...
Undertaker make you leave.
Yeah, I was about to say, what I feel is going to happen is it's going to be another week of John Cena,
egging him on. Okay, see, I noticed, I'm back out here again, dead man. Obviously, you're hard of hearing or you somewhere under a rock where you can't.
Right.
He gonna have his own little twist to it.
And maybe you just hear a ding, like the little dong, but no Undertaker. So it's like, but that
light flash.
Yeah, but that gives you like the thing that kind of says that he's seeing it.
You're getting to me,
right? So we don't know. We'll see.
We'll see how it all go, and just see how he responds. That's just all we're waiting on at this point.
Definitely, man. So that is Sports Moods. Of course, you know where to find us on Twitter, D Moodys World at Sports Moods, and of course on Instagram, see Moodys location at It's Sports Moods. As always, man, we love doing this. We hope you enjoy. Please give us feedback on any platform. This does share to iHeartRadio as well as YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. So if you would, give us feedback. Help us get better. Tell us what you think we need to do more. Stop doing whatever you think. We appreciate those who listen. Our constant listeners, Ashburn, Virginia. It's the place that, like D. Moody said every week, if we get a location somewhere, it has to be in Ashburn, Virginia. We got to be there first. Because that's where our most consistent, most loyal fans have been. So we appreciate everybody who's listened. Everywhere from as far out as California, Alaska, all the way over to New Zealand. And I want to say, was it Israel one time? Israel 1 week. So truly appreciate the Israelites. Truly appreciate it, man. It means a lot. D. Moody, anything else you want to add on?
Nothing really. Just thank you guys so much just for the support, just listening and just taking the time to, whether you engage with us on whatever platform, just taking time out of your day to listen to us. Like I always say, pass it along to a friend, anybody that you know that loves sports talk, love WWE, NBA, basketball, football, whatever it is that we're talking about. Just pass that along to them, and then hopefully that'll turn them on to us,
right? And
to listen to us and become a frequent listener to us. We just look to get better. We've been doing this now since August, so going into 7 months now of doing this podcast. So it doesn't seem like that long. So we do appreciate you listening and hope you enjoy what you hear each and every week.
Definitely. Also, on the website called TeePublic, which is an awesome website for independent people to give and sell designs on t-shirts. We do have on a page that is titled Brainioteca or Mind Library. If you can type one of those up, you will see that there is a Sports Moves t-shirt up there. If you would, you can get it as t-shirt, hoodie, phone case, notebook or a sticker or a mug. I think you can also get it as a coffee mug or anything. But also look up Sports Moods on TeePublic under the page name. It should be Mind, MIND Library. And I think the price for it is $14 for a shirt. course, it gets big, it gets higher the bigger your size is, of course. But the stickers are like $2. So, and help invest in that. We plan to get more designs up there. Going to do like for next year's guru thing for the NFL, the guru of the year, the season. Have a team C Moody, team D Moody shirt, so you can kind of get invested with us as we go along in the week. But once again, we appreciate everything. Stay with us, grow with us. Let's do this together. So until next time, this has been C Moody, as always, with
D Moody.
And this has been Sports Moods. 2
Moodys.
1 duty.
Sports.
See y'all next week. Wow. Jinx. Incredibly. All right, guys.